Hello everybody, Chef Rulis here from Rulis International Kitchen in El Paso, Texas. And today we're gonna go into the kitchen and cook up something for Lent. We're doing some cod with some Middle Eastern spices called satar. We're pairing it up with some delicious quinoa with some basil and Mexican gray squash. Let's get into the kitchen. All right, everybody, welcome back into my kitchen. And here are the ingredients that we're gonna be using today. We're gonna be doing a cod. You can get this at any supermarket. These are 8-ounce fillets. We're going to marinate those in some satar. Satar is a Middle Eastern blend of spices. It's mainly going to be some sumac, some thyme, some sesame seed, but depending on the region, it can have some additional ingredients in there, so you can go ahead and pick out the one that you prefer. We're just gonna mix this up with a little bit of lemon juice and some oil, and that's gonna serve as our marinade. We're going to serve it up with some quinoa. It's super easy to cook. We're gonna go ahead and cook that on the stovetop. And to go with a side of veggies, we're gonna cook up some squash. It goes really, really fast. It's a simple dish, so let's get started. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna take the longest. So we're gonna heat up some water. This is gonna be for our quinoa. We have 2 cups of water and 1 cup of quinoa. We're gonna go ahead and heat that up. Once that comes to a boil, we're just going to season the water with some bouillon. I'm using mushroom bouillon. You can use chicken bouillon. You can use fish bouillon. You can use whichever bouillon you prefer. Super simple. We just gotta wait for that to come to a boil. And that's gonna take 15 minutes of cook time plus 15 minutes of rest time. Really simple. Next, we're going to go ahead and do our marinade for the fish. I'm gonna take about 2 ounces of satar, put that into a dish. I'm gonna go ahead and squeeze a lemon in there. There we go. I'm gonna put in just a little bit of oil. And now we're ready to mix this up. And we're just gonna make sure that this goes spooned all over our fish. And we'll just let those marinate while we do the rest of the dish. The water's boiling, so we're gonna go ahead and season that up with our bouillon. Give it a quick stir. Make sure that dissolves. And now we can add in our quinoa. All right, we're gonna go ahead and cover that. We're gonna turn the heat down to low, and we're gonna let that simmer for about 15 minutes. And in the meantime, we're gonna go ahead and cut up our squash. Now this is a pretty big squash here, so depending on how many people you're gonna feed, you know, you can use 1 or 2. We're gonna feed 4 people today, so we're gonna use 2 of these large ones. And I'm just going to dice them up pretty small. It's about 1 inch or so. And you want everything as even as possible. That way it cooks evenly and it cooks fast because we're not making them too thick. Our squash is ready. Now we just need to heat up our pan and we'll saute these off. We're going to use a little bit of a margarita seasoning on this one. You can use lemon pepper and whatever flavors you decide to use. This is going to be done on a medium-high skillet. And now we're just gonna throw our squash in here. There you go. The sizzle you wanna hear. So the trick to this is really having patience and letting the pan do the work. Don't think that you need to be shaking it or anything like that. This is not a stir fry. We want to give the pan and the food time to get together and give us a really nice char. Char is flavor, and we just have to leave it alone for a little bit. I have my spices here. I can go ahead and put these in. And then we just wait. I'm just turning them so that all the sides get coated. I want to make sure every part here is got a little bit of that marinade. And right here, I was just moving all of the squash around just to make sure that all of the sides are gonna get nice and brown, not just one side. But once I get them all moved and in position, I just let it go. And just wait for them to finish cooking. It'll probably be about another 3-4 minutes, and then we can put these aside. We have about 5 more minutes left on the quinoa before that sets to rest, and then we'll finish cooking off of our fish. I'm gonna adjust my seasoning. The cook is almost done. Okay, so this part of the dish is complete. Our squash is ready. Our quinoa is ready. It's rested. It's ready to go. This is ready to go. Now we just need to cook our fish. So we're gonna heat our pan on medium heat. We don't want this blasting because we do have some spices in here that can burn if this is too hot. So we want a gentle heat. We're gonna let that come up and put the oil in. The oil is ready and we're gonna put in our fillets. This fish is frozen and it's going to be as fresh as you're going to get in the desert. Now here's something that a lot of people don't know. A lot of the fish, once it's caught, it's going to be flash frozen. And so when we do get it in the desert, it's going to be super fresh. So always buy frozen versus fresh. If you're in the desert, if you're right next to the ocean, of course you're going to want fresh. So the fish has been on here about 2 minutes. Once it's ready to release, it'll release on its own. You don't have to move it, shake it around or anything. It'll just come off on its own. Okay, so the fish has been cooking about 4 or 5 minutes and we're ready to take it out. Alrighty, we have our fish ready to go. It is so nice and flaky. You can see it already starting to come apart. We're just about ready to plate this. Our quinoa is ready. We're just gonna jazz it up with a little bit of basil and some more lemon juice, and it's time to eat. Just roll it up like that. Our quinoa is nice and ready to go. A little bit of that in there. Just a little bit more lemon juice. Okay. Let's give this a stir. Right, let's get ready to plate. I'm gonna take a nice little bowl right here. Put in some of the quinoa with a little bit of basil. Some of our squash. Delicious vegetables. And of course, you can use as many colors as you want here. If you want to use some zucchini, which is like really deep green, if you want to use the yellow squash, colorful food is healthy food, so you cannot go wrong. This thing is falling apart right here. All right. And here we go. This is a delicious dish. Easy for Lent. If you follow Lent, you can't go wrong. Remember, you can always incorporate a lot of different spices into this really simple dish. If you want to give it more of a Mexican flavor, then just use some margarita mix and season your fish that way. Or if you want to go a little bit more Italian, use some Italian seasonings and it'll go perfect with that as well. It's so flaky. It took no time to cook, about 5-6 minutes, and it's that easy. All in one pan and one pot, and we're done. And there you go, guys. This dish is super simple, super fast, and extremely delicious. I hope you guys enjoy. Make sure you follow us on social media and smash that like button. Take care, guys. Cheers.